Hello everyone, here's some information on Module 4, Web-Based Resource Development. Please make sure that you're taking the time to read through all the content information on this page, including the objectives, readings, activities. We're talking about the Addie model of instructional design, where you analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. Due to the nature of this particular assignment, we're really only focusing on analyzing, designing, and developing. You won't have the chance to implement yet, but I do ask you to do some evaluation at the end. For the assignment, I'm asking you to plan, design, and develop a web-based student project to teach a series of curriculum-based outcomes to a specific target audience and present to the class through electronic means. So you're really going to look at the first three steps of the Addie model: analyze, design, and develop. I think it's important to focus on one specific target area, which will give you some information about where you're going to be teaching next. If you know where you're going to be in your PS3, take this as an opportunity to start planning out a lesson or a whole unit. To start off, you're going to analyze. Identify the general and specific curricular outcomes addressed through the student project. Take time to analyze the various factors within the curriculum. Complete additional research into web-based tools that would fit into your student project. You've done a lot of work already on web-based tools, and this will be the chance for you to shine. Next part is going to be design. So plan out the structure of the project. Create an organized method of working through this developmental phase and compile resources and materials in one central digital place. For me, the best place to do this would be a website. You could use Weebly, you could use Wix, you could use Google Sites. There's 1,000 different tools that you could use. Find one that works for you best, but should be something digital where you can share that out with the rest of the class. Next step is develop, and this is the actual project being created. Create the lesson plan in accordance with the instructions given and the rubric that's been given as a guide. Now, like I said, you're not currently in a classroom setting, so you won't be implementing this at the time. However, I do ask you for an evaluation. Prepare a self-evaluation of 2 or 3 paragraphs, including the Addie process you went through to create the student project. I think that this evaluation should be included within the website just to make one complete package that you can submit just by sending in the URL. Pay special attention to the rubric. This is how you're going to be marked. Outcomes for the lesson, objectives of the lesson, introduction, procedures, assessment in the lesson, conclusion of the lesson. That's all fairly standard when it comes to lesson planning. I do want to make sure you include multimedia, so appropriate audio and video integration. Visual and usability of website is really important. If the students can't use your website, they're not going to be able to figure out how to go from lesson to lesson. Accessibility is also important. We have to make sure that students, regardless of their ability, are able to access the project. Want to make sure it's clear. I want to make sure that you're picking appropriate tools. As we've been studying different web-based tools, for this particular assignment, you should have 5 or more tools that you're having students use. There should be a good variety of the tools. You should be using the Addie model of instruction, and you're providing a self-evaluation. So really, if you go through this rubric, it will help with every single part of this assignment. Every single one of you is going to produce something that's very, very different and very specifically focused on your own teaching style and your own environment. You're going to know what you want to do with this project. If you're going to want to use it in your PS2, your PS3, or if you're all done and you know that you're going to be teaching in a more traditional setting, you're going to want to put something together that you can really use. It's an exciting project. It has a lot of opportunity, and you do have a lot of work ahead of you to work through this project. It is a culmination of all of the work that you've done so far. We've looked at web-based tools, we've looked at how to communicate online, we've looked at all the different pedagogy required, and therefore, this is the culmination of all of the work that we've done so far. Please don't hesitate. Ask me any questions that you might have. As you start working through this, if you have a sample you want me to look through, if you have a URL set, please share that with me. I'd be more than happy to look it over and make sure that you do very, very well on this project. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope you have a great day.